The holiday season is here, and while it's typically a festive time filled with traditions, celebrations, and gatherings, it's also a season that can evoke a mix of emotions for people. Navigating those emotions can be complicated and requires self-awareness and proactive measures. Here to provide a few tips and tools to help manage these emotions is Dr. Portia Adams, a licensed mental health therapist. Good afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us.
Good afternoon. I'm so glad to be here.
We're glad to have you. So you specialize in mood disorders, relationship issues, and family conflict, which is a lot of the areas that we typically think about when it comes to the holidays. We're happy, we're festive, we're with family or our loved ones. But how common is it for people to feel quite the opposite this time of year?
Well, I think the combination of being with family, having maybe high expectations, also maybe anticipating family conflict, also with the change in the weather, the shorter days, the early darkness, and then there's the holidays themselves, right? That also cause stress.
So would you say it's more so common? Do you have does your client list typically rise around this time of year?
It does.
Wow.
It does. Let's see. I'd say that it definitely rises this time of the year. Also, after the holidays, people tend to request psychotherapeutic services.
And speaking of those services, can you kind of break down what they are for people that don't know? Psychotherapeutic, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
For holiday stress, combining the winter blues and holiday stress, things like, of course, psychotherapy might be suggested if it is too much to handle. Now, by the way, stress is kind of a normal way of our body expressing, something's up, I either want to fight, flight, or freeze. And it is a part of our brain chemistry that we do have stress. Stress in some ways can be fine, but when it's overwhelming, when you can't sleep, when you no longer do things that are normally pleasurable to you, when for some people it can be as extreme as having suicidal thoughts. And in that case, always take that seriously. Use the crisis hotline, call or text 988. So it ranges.
So let's talk about cases that aren't as extreme. You mentioned that there are high expectations that can come around the holidays trying to please people and the stress of making sure you have everything done. So what's advice that you would give to someone in order to prevent those feelings and also combat them if they find themselves experiencing them?
Give yourself some grace. You're not going to be perfect. Your family is not going to be perfect. You can anticipate some disagreement, and don't be so not to be surprised. Maybe, in the first day or two of the holidays, you have several disagreements, but that after a while, that will hopefully decrease. Let's see, things like therapy is something that people use also.
Tell us about that. How would you use that?
It's sort of I think one of the trademarks is Happy Light. And what it does is it increases the amount of bright light that you get during the day to make up for the less, the
hour back. We fell back.
That's helpful to people. So light therapy, psychotherapy, let's see, routines, getting up, turning on all your lights.
Yeah, running up the light bill. There are a lot of ways that you can kind of help in ways like that and seek therapy and healing. So let's say you are that family member that's noticing something. How can you tell, how can you recognize the signs in a loved one that may be going through seasonal depression, that may not be themselves? What's something to kind of you should look out for?
Things like when your loved one is not getting out of bed, when they don't do things that they really usually like to do, they're irritable, If you have issues with alcohol or substance use, that they may increase that during this time.
Yeah.
Eating disorders are hard during this time. Let's see.
So one thing, I know we have to wrap up, but one thing, what would you advise people to do in order to successfully make it through a holiday season if they have mood disorders?
If you can, do some pre-planning, get into a routine. If you can get out of bed, make your bed, turn on all the lights, go for a walk outside no matter what. Those kind of things are very helpful. Some people are into things like yoga, mindfulness exercises. You can do that also with in groups or with a psychotherapist.
Well, Dr. Adams, I appreciate you for coming in and sharing your expertise with us. Hopefully you've helped someone out there who may be experiencing these things. Thank you.
I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
Of course. All right, Central Illinois, we'll be back after the break.